From the 2013 International CES in Las Vegas, this is another Into Tomorrow ITTV special report.
Our next guest is another regular on the show over the years because there's always fun things to talk about. They're being very innovative, always doing some cool things. He is the CEO of iBiquity, the HD radio folks. Bob Struble. Bob, welcome back Into Tomorrow. Always a pleasure to have you.
Dave, always great to be with you at CES.
There's things every time we manage to meet up at various shows, but certainly this one, that there are so many new products that you guys are doing, so many cool new announcements. It's almost like I don't know where to start, but let's start with the big three, because in your exhibit this year, right up front, 3 cool brand new vehicles from the big three with HD radio, of course.
That's right. We've been focused on the automotive market for a long time. Folks, probably your listeners, are listening in their cars, or many of them. So cars very important, and we've focused on it for a while. This year was the first year milestone that we had HD radio receivers in vehicles by all 3 of the American big three. So a beautiful Chevy Traverse, a big old Dodge Ram truck, and a Ford Fiesta. Milestones of sorts, and the good news in especially the GM instance, that is standard equipment. So consumers are buying cars and enjoying the technology right off the lot, whether they knew about HD radio or not when they went into the dealership.
And more manufacturers are jumping on the HD bandwagon, as they should. How many various manufacturers now are saying, of course we have HD radio?
On the car side, we've got 29 different auto manufacturers that, of course, started at the high end with the BMWs and the Jags and the Lexuses of the world, but we're down into, on the show floor, we've got a $15,000 Toyota Yaris. It's an entry-level car, and it comes as well with HD radio standard. So there's something for everybody out there. Kia, Hyundai, Scion. If you're driving a car and you're going to buy a new one, the odds are highly likely you have the chance to purchase HD radio.
I think, Bob, one of the coolest things about, you mentioned the $15,000 entry-level kind of vehicle, is not only is it introducing HD radio to a whole different audience, really. It's all about demographics in the long run, where people are looking to see what can they afford, but for them to also experience HD radio, it's not just the high ends, as you mentioned initially, which is typical curves for technology. It's, it's going to cost you a little more.
It's quite a ways down the curve, and also the exciting thing, Dave, is we're bringing new features and services to those entry-level buyers. So we've talked about these features through the years, and the list gets longer. But you're going to get new digital radio stations. They're calling them HD2s and HD3s. There's about 1,400 of them now around the country with innovative new programming that's really not available anywhere else on the dial. We've got the beautiful scrolling text with song, artist, and title. You see what you're listening to. And most recently, the big introduction is something we call Artist Experience, which is the ability of a station to broadcast an album cover and place it on your screen. And you and I were checking out that Chevy Traverse with the album art. People expect to see that nowadays, and you're speaking about these younger demographics. When people are listening to music, they see album art, whether I'm listening on my iPod, whether I'm listening to Pandora, or whether I'm listening to streaming services, iHeart, TuneIn, etc. So we need to bring that same capability, which is almost the expectation, to AM and FM radio. It's great to see that they're rolling out in vehicles now.
And of course, this data, if you will, the data is coming from our local radio station, so they have that ability to send those zeros and ones through the radio, and it's now showing up on the HD radio. It's also, I think, a safety issue. You glance down, you recognize the album art. Oh, I love that song.
That's right. Whatever. That's right. And other features you mentioned it. Bits are bits. So it's audio, and of course with radio we think of audio first. But there are a host of new data services. A big announcement at this show, Dave, I know you know, Toyota and Lexus announcing they will be offering free over-the-air real-time traffic updates.
That's awesome. Coming
from Clear Channel and their Total Traffic Network, and to the consumer, as we said, free for the life of the vehicle. So I go out and buy that new Lexus IS, which will be introduced next month. I've got my nav system, and not only will it tell me where to go, it will show me where the traffic issues are, where the construction is, where the delay is, and that data is coming free to the consumer over HD radio.
And on top of that, you're getting weather.
You're getting weather, you're getting stock quotes, you're getting sports scores. So what they call now the center stack in the car is being populated with a lot of different services, a lot of great infotainment capability. We are making sure that AM and FM radio is keeping up to date with those services. And as you point out all the time, the great thing about AM and FM radio is it is free over the air, no subscriptions, no fees. You're going to get it when you get the car, and you're going to get it for the life of that car.
And, of course, in my new car, great, I have some weather and traffic and information and incidents and whatnot. but if I don't keep subscribing to the monthly fees of satellite radio, I'm not going to have that information.
That's right.
Nor will I get my maps updated because it's all over the air from them.
That's right, and that's one of the major selling points that the automakers seem to enjoy about HD radio. Again, that model of free over the air for the life of the vehicle. We had the big announcement from Toyota and Lexus. Mitsubishi has announced that they'll be offering the product with traffic update sometime soon. I would anticipate through the course of 2013 you'll see several more announcements along those lines.
And you're also now in Mexico.
We are in Mexico. Gracias, mi amigo. We were selected the standard in Mexico in late 2011. We had a formal launch this past year, but if you go to Mexico City now, you're going to find 20 HD radio stations on the dial, and at last count, there's over 100,000 vehicles on the road in Mexico City driving around with HD radio. So we don't have that same thing we did in the States, Dave, where you gotta work a long time to get the radios. The radios are here, and the citizens of Mexico are getting them real quick.
Terrific. And of course the growth there, awesome. I mean, you mentioned Mexico City only. There's a whole lot of other territory in that.
There really is. And one of the things that we saw early on was stations along the border with the U.S. Because of the cross-border listening, because of the cross-border advertising, we're converting even in advance of the government decision. So Tijuana, Laredo, near to San Diego, near to Bronzeville in Texas. A lot of stations on the air. You'll see Guadalajara, you'll see Monterrey. So we're excited about that. I've been a few times. Best Buy de Mexico has got beautiful HD radio receivers, and it's exciting.
Love it. And of course, before we run out of time, want to get in there that the popularity of portable HD radio continues to grow.
Portable HD radio, so you see it on the Garmin Nuvis, the personal navigation devices, with those traffic updates similar to what we talked about with Toyota.
And again, free for life.
Free for life. And you'll begin to see them on tablets and phones in 2013.
Awesome. Bob, always a pleasure to have on the program. And every time we talk, there's more stuff. I don't know how you guys continue to innovate like you do, but don't stop, please.
CES is about innovation, so we're trying to hold up our end, Dave.
You're doing it. HDRadio.com. You can't miss it. And, of course, we'll link you there to Bob's site. You'll see what he and his team are up to on a very regular basis. If you're not experiencing HD radio yet in your car, in your home, on your shoulder as you're running, whatever the case might be, do check it out. It's free. You're not paying monthly subscriptions. It's over-the-air radio that's already there for you. Take advantage of us radio folks and get HD radio. We're back with more from Las Vegas. I'm Dave Graveline, bringing you further into tomorrow right here on the Advanced Media Network.